everyone, it's Sharona from Pay or Wait, and today I'm going to be reviewing American Son, which is now streaming on the Netflix platform. This film is directed by Kenny Leon and is written by Christopher Demos Brown, and this film stars Kerry Washington, Eugene Lee, Jeremy Jordan, and Stephen Pascal, and is based off of the Broadway play by the same name, American Son, which actually starred the actors that are in this film as well. And so this film is based off of Kendra, played by Kerry Washington, who is a mother that is very wary, very concerned about her son Jamal, who she has not seen nor heard from in quite a few hours. And this is not like his character. And so she goes to the police station to try to file a missing persons report to try to figure out what has happened to her son. And the film really centers around Kendra. After a Q&A, of me seeing this film, Kenny Leon was actually in attendance, and he said that this film is really only meant to provide the viewpoint, the perspective of Kendra as a mother and what a mother will experience trying to figure out what has happened to her son. And so this film is shot in only one scene in the police station where she comes into contact with Officer Larkin, who is played by Jeremy Jordan. Then also too, as her husband, played by Stephen Pascal, he comes to try to figure out what has happened. And so this film is a very heavy film. It's about a very heavy topic in regards to police brutality, to racism, to discrimination, and it really centers around the story of Jamal, who is missing. And really, as we get to learn through the dialogue, her interactions as she's being questioned by the officer, as he's trying to get to learn more about Jamal, or as she's having conversations with her husband, we get to learn more about Kendra's situation. We get to learn more about the circumstances that may have led Jamal into the situation that he is in now, as we're kind of spoon-fed little by little more details as to what has actually happened to her son. And so I'm going into what I enjoyed about this film was how they decide to handle so many different viewpoints. And what I would tell people is to really watch this film with an open mind. I know that because this is such a heavy topic and it's a topic that causes a lot of discourse amongst people in our society today, I can definitely tell that some people will be initially turned off. But one of the things that I really appreciate is as we're getting to learn more about who Jamal was from the lens of his mother Kendra, and also too from the lens of society, which we kind of get to see with Officer Larkin, is we get to see kind of the complexities that young kids, especially young Black children, face. How do you succeed in society? How do you kind of reconcile like your culture when you're kind of put in these situations where you're the only one? And one of the things that they say during the course of the film is be the face of the race. And that's something that I definitely could relate to, because I went to a predominantly white Catholic grade school and high school. And so I love that movies now, such as American Son, then also to another film that I'll be talking about next week, Ways, how it talks about the pressures that young kids from different cultures, different racial backgrounds, some of the things that they experience. And it's done so effortlessly because of the dialogue. Because as I say, this film takes place in one room. And so you really have to capture the characteristics of Jamal, who he was, does he fit like this type of what society views a young Black man as. And I love the dialogue between Kendra and her husband as they get into the racial differences, because Kendra is married to a white man, and how they dealt with how to raise their child, how they dealt with, their families, issues that they've had in their relationship as it deals to race or deals to other circumstances. And I think that it's so well done. There's so much dialogue, but there's so much that you can grasp from it. And it's stellar performances. Kerry Washington does such a great job as Kendra. You truly feel the emotion, the fear that she's going through as a mother who's really trying to figure out what has happened to her child and how a mother would react in that type of a situation. Now, if I had to say anything that I didn't like so much about the film, I do think that because there's so many different topics that they're trying to talk about throughout the course of this hour and 30-minute film, sometimes I felt as though that the focus really shifted from Kendra trying to figure out what happened to Jamal to certain topics that I necessarily didn't think needed to be discussed, but I can understand why it was in there to help you understand the relationship between her and her husband, the relationship with her son, us trying to figure out who Jamal was. Did he do something good? Did he do something bad? And ultimately finding out towards the end of the film what actually happened to Jamal. American Son is a very heartbreaking film. It's a very necessary film that needs to be made because these are situations that are happening in our country today. There are women, Black women, who are afraid for their Black children because they could be shot just for being in the wrong place at the wrong time, or being shot because society paints them in this one picture. And so I think that I really enjoyed American Son. I definitely think whether you have children, whether you do not have children, there's so many lessons to be learned from watching this film. Has a great cast, great performances as well. I mean, I would definitely say that it's worth the stream. So those are pretty much my thoughts on the Netflix movie American Son. As always, my name is Sharona from Para Waits, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit that notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. I'll see you soon.